got a really cool email. Let me check it out. From Jim Cuba. Jim is a subscriber. He watched one of our videos and reached out to me and sent me some pictures of his really cool homemade Roadster, and we're here to check it out. Jim!
Hey!
Jim, look at this thing!
How you doing?
Good, nice to
finally
meet you. We have been emailing and speaking on the phone. You built this in your garage.
Yes.
I want to know all about the story behind this little Roadster.
Sure. So this was built over the course of about 2 years, and I've always been a gearhead and a car guy. So I've been into drag racing, I've been into road racing, I've been into autocross racing. I typically like anything fast enough to act stupid with. And so I saw a car like this out at Chuckwalla Raceway a few years ago. Went to talk to the guy who built it, and he told me about this website you can go to where they have the plans and the drawings and whatnot on how to build these. So this is not a kit, this is a home-built car.
And it's loosely based on a Caterham 7 design.
Caterham 7 or a Lotus 7, one of the two, that's correct. So
when Lotus was making these cars, they did often sell them in a kit form or in a broke down form to avoid the sales tax, which
That
was
is
like
correct.
25% or something at the time.
that, and I think it was some sort of, regulations of some sort, safety regulations, maybe if you built it. So yes, as a matter of fact, in this early 70s, Caterham ended up buying the rights to Lotus. And now even today, you can still buy a Caterham 7, and they still are available in kit form as well.
You can buy them fully complete or in kit, but this is loosely based on that idea.
Correct, yes.
And so I want to see everything you did, because this is spectacular. I'm sure it's just a looker everywhere you go.
It is. I ended up going up to San Francisco and buying this just as the frame. So the frame was built by somebody else.
Okay.
And then pretty much everything else I built
It
in my
wasn't even a
garage.
roller. You just picked up a
Just
frame all
picked
by
up a
itself.
frame.
Everything else you went home and did yourself.
That's right. Yep.
That's crazy.
So it took me about 2 years to build it. These are very lightweight cars. This one weighs 1,350 pounds as is, ready to
Right.
go. It has a Mazda Turbo 13B rotary engine.
Two-rotor.
Two-rotor, yep. If you turn the boost up, it'll make about 400 horse, which is pretty
That's
fun.
crazy.
And
Your power to weight ratio is insane.
Yeah,
1,350 pounds.
I think
400
it's somewhere
horsepower.
around the power to weight ratio of a Bugatti Veyron. So,
Wow.
but it's very traction limited. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Traction limited.
Yes,
You're going to
yes.
spin out a little bit, right?
well, you just got to kind of be easy with
Okay,
it.
so let's talk about this. There's no doors. There's no real roof over you. It's just a
Right.
total open cockpit.
It's a total toy is what it
It looks
is.
like an old airplane or an old racer from way back in the day.
It does. It does. And in fact, people back in the day would wear these crazy goggles and stuff like that.
Right, like
these
they were
things
flying an airplane.
to make
or
sure
something.
bugs don't
right.
get in your eyes and whatnot.
Right, because
so.
that windshield's not very
Effective.
Effective.
Yes.
And this beautiful red. Now, this isn't paint, right? This is wrap.
No, this is wrapped.
Man,
That's
it's
right.
just gorgeous.
All of the fiberglass, like the nose and the hood and the fenders, that comes as a kit where you can order the
Okay.
fiberglass. It was pretty flimsy, so I went ahead and reinforced underneath on all of it to make it thicker because I knew I
Right.
was going to race this car. So another reason I wanted to wrap it is because if you race it and you hit it, it's easy to fix, wrap it again, and go.
I exactly get that.
So, yep.
Yep, I had a fiberglass wrapped rock crawler that I had to rewrap often. But you could
I try
also
not
change
to.
it
Yes,
out pretty
exactly.
quick.
Right.
So we're not going to crash this.
No.
This is so rad.
The sides of the car is aluminum,
Right?
and then the back of the car is all
Well,
aluminum.
that's easy. That's just sheet metal, right? Pretty easy on
Pretty
the
much,
side there.
yeah. Now the back was a little more difficult. I had to hand form that, and believe it or
Okay.
not, I used a basketball goal post
Really?
as my guide to form that aluminum. around
Is
the
that
back.
something that
So
you read on a forum as a trick, or you just figured it out?
I just figured it out.
It's so fun.
Yeah,
so fun.
and then this is street legal as well. This is California street legal.
Insane.
I do have fenders, but I leave them off because I just think it looks cooler
Of
without
course.
it. So.
It looks way cool without it.
And then this engine was in one of my road race cars. This whole car is a hodgepodge of different parts. Mazda rotary engine, Mazda transmission. The rear axle is out of a Mazda RX-7.
Okay.
Front brakes are out of a Mazda Miata. So I used a lot of Mazda parts because
Sure.
I was familiar with them. But then there's other mixtures of Volkswagen parts are in here. And the steering column and the turn signals and all that's off of an old English Triumph car. So
Wow.
there's a whole lot of different things. You just can't go to AutoZone and say, hey,
Yeah.
I need a part for a
Yeah.
because they don't know what you're
Because
talking
they don't
about.
know.
There we go.
Is it loose coming off? There you go. Do you have that?
There we go.
Wow. Look at that. Jeez. So this Mazda rotary is so cool. It's like 1 cubic foot or something. How do you actually know how big? It's like 12 inches by 12 inches
Right.
by 12 inches. It's the smallest thing
I
ever.
always say it's about the size of a small beer keg.
Right.
So it's only 1.3 liters. So
Okay.
Rotary engines have 2 rotors. For 1 turn of the rotor, the actual eccentric shaft, they call it an eccentric
Sure.
shaft, not a crankshaft, turns 3 times. So it does that with some gears and things like that that's in it.
You get really high RPMs because of that, because 3 times as much as a piston driven.
Right, so the rotor turns not near as fast, like I said, as the eccentric shaft does. And there's 2 rotors, so you have a front rotor and a rear rotor. This one is a 13B. It's a ported motor, and it's a fully built, custom built motor. So it's built to take the
Sure.
abuse. It's intercooled.
Yep.
So all of this piping I had to have custom built. It uses the fuel management system. The brand is Haltech out of Australia. So all the tuning of this engine is done with a laptop computer. You don't even have to touch anything. So I took it to an expert who is an expert with Mazda rotaries and with Haltech to have it initially tuned, and then they tune it on a dyno so you know what horsepower it makes and things like that. Ever since then, I will go in and just do minor adjustments. Also, this car has what they call boost by gear, and I can adjust that as well. Boost by gear is set up so that it'll give you low boost in first and second gear, and it'll give you higher boost in the higher gears. And the reason I do that is just to keep you from going in the ditch.
Sure. Have you had any cooling issues with this, or it seems to be pretty reliable?
It's very reliable. The nose on this car is very small, so I had to have a custom radiator built for it. It's actually a 5-core radiator.
Okay.
Very large radiator to be able to cool this engine, and then also all rotary engines are oil cooled as well. And so in the nose also is a large oil cooler. The oil cooler is almost as big as this intercooler is. So all that had to be plumbed and piped up here in this front nose.
This is the coolest thing. He's got to show us how the internal rotor actually moves around inside this rotor housing and what it does.
So this is the eccentric shaft. They call it an eccentric shaft instead of a crankshaft because there's no reciprocating components to it.
Right.
This is part of the intake event. So the air and fuel can come
Into this chamber.
into this chamber, and this is like the equivalent of it's pretty open here. So then as this turns, you can see that the actual rotor closes off the port.
And these apex seals keep all of that from leaking into the next
That's
chamber.
correct. That's correct. You have apex seals and side seals that keep all of that. So now you can see that it's closed off that port. So that's the same thing as an intake valve closing now.
Okay.
So now as it turns,
That chamber gets smaller and
it's
smaller,
smaller
and
and smaller,
squeezes.
so it's squeezing it. That's your compression event. Then your spark plugs are over here, and it fires. And
When it's fully compressed, it's ready to fire.
and you have what they call leading and trailing plugs. And the leading plug fires initially,
Right.
and then the trailing plug fires shortly
Right
after
afterwards,
that, just to kind of finish
To get
off
it
the
timed
combustion.
right?
Correct. So then this would be where your power stroke is right here. So this
Okay.
is, so now,
And that's what's powering your shaft right there. Everything that's
Correct.
happening in here.
and then over here, as you can see, now it is the apex seal has uncovered the exhaust port, and
Right.
now the exhaust can go out.
Your rear end's really tidy. That's what I was going to say. Your rear end is really tidy.
I'm glad to know that.
It is very tidy. You got these really cool snaps. What is hiding underneath here? Show us.
All right, so this is the boot. That's how you fill up the gas. So it's got a 10-gallon fuel cell right there. But what this has also is what I call a sorrel pot. I don't know if that's what they normally call it. But
I
that's
actually
what I
don't
call
know
it.
what a sorrel pot is.
Swirl, like swirl.
Oh, I thought you said
Swirl-
you're from Texas. what the heck's a sorrel pot?
Swirl pot.
A swirl pot.
So it takes the fuel at low pressure from the big tank and puts it in the swirl pot.
Okay. Is that to keep the system pressurized so you don't
Yes.
lose?
So if you're going around corners
Yep.
and you're
Yep.
sloshing,
Yep.
if it was in the big tank, you may fuel starve, right?
Sure.
The swirl pot is designed in a way that the fuel goes in the bottom and comes out the top, so it always just keeps it full
Okay.
of fuel. So you have a high pressure fuel pump and a low pressure fuel pump. The low pressure just takes fuel from the regular tank and puts it in the swirl pot. I'll be dreaming about swirl pots later, but The high pressure fuel pump then just pumps it and uses
Got
it
it.
for the engine, and it circulates within the swirl pot. So that's that. Also, the batteries back here. You can see the small
it's so
battery
cute.
that's back
Look
there.
at your tiny rear end.
Yep.
Look at that baby back there.
That's a
your
little
tiny, tiny.
a little motorcycle battery. It's all it takes to run this thing.
Oh my goodness.
Rear axles back here.
That is the smallest battery ever.
And then it also has the same shocks that are in the front. They're
Yeah.
coilover shocks.
Yep.
This car has custom built A-arms, and all the suspension components are all custom made. It's all Heim joint ends, and they're all adjustable so that you can get the correct alignment specs on it.
Okay.
The front and rear has coilover adjustable shocks. These are Gaz brand shocks. They're from Great Britain. So this is exactly the type of shock that a Caterham or a Lotus would have on it
Okay.
as well. The brakes are just standard fare Mazda Miata brakes. The steering rack, it's rack and pinion. It is
Okay.
a Coleman unit that's used like in some NASCAR cars. Also, the braking system on this car has tilt-in pedals so that it has front and rear master cylinders. And what's nice about that is it's fully adjustable. So
Right.
you can adjust the brake bias for the front,
Right.
the back, things
Okay.
like that.
And I'm assuming you got it all dialed in by now.
Yes,
All right.
I hope so.
I'm so tickled. Let's go do this. Are you serious, Jim? This thing.
What do you think? She's fun.
Yeah. Probably doesn't want to be in that. Oh, so 7,000 is my max. Okay, got it. Wow. It's gonna hug these
go-kart.
curves, right? I know. Look at these curves.
Call it the adult go-kart.
Jeez. Problem is this thing just wants to take off. Yeah, it does feel like a go-kart. Whoa, it just goes.
Get the feel for it?
Yeah, feels good. Wow, that's fun to drive. Huh? How fast was that?
Run at 100.
Oh shoot, I should slow down. At least you know the sheriff.
So you know how you were mentioning before about how you figured a rotary, you had to wind it? And this one has torque almost immediately
Yeah.
because of the turbo.
Right.
Just
That's
punch it,
true.
it comes on.
Yeah.
Watch over the rocks.
Ooh, rocks. Ooh, that rock? Shit. Sorry. Don't catch that on camera.
Pretty fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it grips.
Punch it,
Go
punch it,
kart.
punch it. Punch it, punch it.
What? No. Woo! Oh my gosh. That was 120.
Yeah.
Love it.
Wow.
Wow.
It never gets old.
No. Nice tight steering.
Very tight. Yeah,
That's
some people
our
don't
left.
like how tight it is because it's, yeah.
That's our left.
So here we can either turn around or else there's a shortcut that goes back up.
Ooh.
Either way.
Is that road open?
It's right here.
Wow. That was amazing. What the heck?
I was looking at it, I was like,
We hit 120,
120.
huh? We could have gone more, but
Yeah, it needed
there
a
was
shift.
some,
I think you were on the rev limiter.
Was I?
That's okay. It's what's made for.
I feel like this is a nice Sunday drive to church.
There's that long straightaway. As soon as we go around this corner, there's a long straightaway all the way up.
Okay. Man, that boost. Just a little turbo wants to just peel out.
Floor it.
Huh?
It's a pretty sharp curve here.
Oh no, it needs to be back. Ooh, rev limiter, sorry.
Be careful on this corner.
Woo! We're not dying today. We're not dying today. Dude, you hit a little bump and it's gone.
The
All right.
tires are starting to hook up good now.
Yeah.
Now they're getting warm. You're driving it good.
Who was that?
My wife right there.
Oh, how funny. I think these aviator helmets are pretty nice. They work pretty good, don't they?
This works good.
Yeah. Plus, we look amazing. How are you doing over there? You good? This is seriously like driving at the go-kart track. Except it's a very long track. Is this our turn off? Are we almost there?
Getting closer.
Keep looking for it.
So go ahead and, in a minute, get in your left lane.
It just wants you to accelerate and jump up to another gear. So fun. Is this our turn up here?
Right up here. Right there.
Do I turn right here?
Yep.
Got it.
The rocks.
Oh, rocks, 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 rocks. Oh, crap. Oh, what the hell, man? Dude.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, rocks galore.
Rock dispenser. We'll be getting the vacuum cleaner out.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure you're never gonna call anybody like me ever again.
No.
Dude.
I built it to do this.
What a funny car. Only you and I are gonna know the truth about
There you go.
what just happened here. Ooh, you got lots of gravelly stuff here.
We will vacuum it all out.
Dude, look at all these rocks. What do you think, Jim?
That was
Dude.
outstanding.
That was so much fun. It's like a giant go-kart. Oh my gosh.
She nailed it. She nailed it.
You know what? He looks so good in these goggles. I think we're a great team.
I think we are.
appreciate you. Just like our video, comment, because all of your engagement throws it in front of new people who are gonna come and find us, and we're gonna grow this channel together. So subscribe, click the bell notification to be notified every time we upload a new video. We'll see you next time. My nose runs when it's cold like this. So I have to be careful. I can't pick my nose on camera or do any of these things I'd love to do. How am I saying it? Action. This is action. Hold on, cracking up.
People say you're an a-hole. I said, what's your point?
I actually had like 5 people say, dye your hair back. Wait, you go down and I'll go up. Wait, go down.
Oh, wait a minute.
We've got to go opposite. What's your timing? Up, just go up and down.
That was a horrible
Just go
dance.
up, down, up, down. There we go, we got it! Okay,